Welcome to section 6.3, part 2. This is the 49th session of the CISSP exam prep series. Let's finish the algorithm lineup and then master how keys are managed. In this session, we'll wrap up the symmetric algorithms and key management. We'll answer several questions. What are the Rivest ciphers and where do they stand? Why is the advanced encryption standard the gold standard? How do you exchange a secret key securely? Where should keys be stored, and how does key escrow and recovery work safely? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because choosing and safeguarding keys is where cryptography usually goes wrong in practice. Picture an engineering team that picks a flawless algorithm but leaves the key sitting next to the encrypted data. The math was perfect, yet the whole system is now trivial to break. Understanding modern algorithm choices and disciplined key handling is what separates real protection from a false sense of it. What are the Rivest ciphers, and where do they stand? They are a family of related algorithms with very different fates. The fourth, a stream cipher, was once everywhere, baked into old wireless and web security protocols, but a run of attacks made it insecure and it is now retired. The fifth is a block cipher with flexible sizes that stood up to a brute force cracking effort that took years to break just one message. The sixth was a block cipher offered as a candidate for the next national standard, but it lost that contest and never caught on. Think of three siblings from one family. One disgraced, one respected, and one that never made it big. Why is the advanced encryption standard the gold standard? Because it was chosen through open competition to replace the aging DES, and it has held up ever since. Built on an algorithm called Rivest, it became the mandated standard for protecting sensitive government data. It works on 128-bit blocks, and lets you pick a key of 128, 192, or 256 bits. The longer the key, the more rounds of scrambling it performs, 10, 12, or 14. There is also the CAS family, another block cipher line that appears in some security products. Think of AES as the modern deadbolt that quietly became the default on nearly every door. How do you exchange a secret key securely? This is the classic headache of symmetric encryption, and there are three main answers. The first is offline distribution, physically handing over the key on paper or a device, which is simple but clumsy and easy to intercept. The second is using public key encryption to open a secure channel first, then passing the fast symmetric key through it. The third is a dedicated key exchange method, the Diffie-Hellman algorithm, which lets two parties agree on a shared secret, even over an open line with no prior contact. Think of three ways to share a house key: mailing it, slipping it through a locked delivery slot, or a clever handshake that conjures the same key on both sides. Where should encryption keys be stored? Never in the obvious place, right beside the data they protect. You have three broad options. Software-based storage keeps keys as files on the system, which is easy but exposed if that system is compromised. Hardware-based storage uses dedicated devices, from personal smart cards up to enterprise hardware security modules, offering stronger protection at higher cost. Cloud-based storage takes that same hardware module approach and runs it inside a provider's data center. A good practice for the most sensitive keys is to split them, giving two people separate halves so neither can act alone. Think of a safe deposit box that needs both your key and the bank's before it opens. How does key escrow and recovery work safely? Escrow means a copy of a key is held so it can be recovered later under strict conditions. Governments have floated escrow schemes to obtain keys under a court order, using approaches like splitting a key among independent third parties who must recombine their pieces. Inside a company, escrow is genuinely useful when someone leaves and their encrypted files are still needed, or when a key is simply lost. The people trusted to recover keys are recovery agents, and that is enormous power. To keep any one of them honest, organizations use M of N control, requiring at least M agents out of a group of N to cooperate before a key can be pulled. Think of a bank vault that opens only when several managers turn their keys together. So let's bring it together. The Rivest ciphers show mixed fates, with the old stream cipher retired and the others fading. The advanced encryption standard, built on Rivest, is the modern gold standard, with its 128, 192, and 256-bit keys. You exchange secret keys through offline handoff, a public key channel, or Diffie-Hellman. You store keys away from the data using software, hardware, or cloud modules and split the most sensitive ones. An escrow with recovery agents stays safe through M-of-N control. Sound key management is where cryptography truly lives or dies. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.